Everyone in town avoids the house at the end of Willow Street. They say it's just an old building. Nothing special, nothing to worry about. But I know they're wrong. Because every night, when the clock strikes 9, a girl appears in the upstairs window. She doesn't wave, she doesn't blink, she just stares. And even though I see her clearly, no one else does. That's why I need to find out who she is and why she won't go away. The house at the end of the street is quiet, dark, and always cold. The windows are dusty, the walls are cracked. The garden is full of weeds and dry leaves. Most people walk past it quickly without looking. When I was a child, my parents warned me, "Don't go near that house, Alex. It's not safe." Back then, I believed them. I never even touched the front gate. But I am older now. I am 19, and I walk home from work every evening. I pass the house every night, and for a long time, nothing strange ever happened. Until 1 week ago. That's when I saw her. It was Monday. I was tired from work, and the street was quiet. As I walked past the old house, something made me stop. There, in the second floor window, stood a girl. She looked young, maybe 16 or 17. She had long black hair, pale skin, and wore an old white dress. Her eyes were wide and still. She didn't move. She just stared at me. I stood frozen. Then I blinked, and she was gone. I shook my head. Did I imagine that? I whispered. But the next night, she was there again. By Wednesday, I was sure she was real. I had seen her 3 nights in a row, always at 9 p.m., always in the same window, always staring. I told my friend Maya, "There is a girl in that old house," I said. "She is always there at the same time." Maya laughed. "What are you talking about? That place is abandoned." "I know, but I am serious. She looks trapped." "Maybe it's just your imagination," she said, "or a reflection. You have been working too much." "Come with me," I said, "just once. Tonight." That night, Maya walked with me. We reached the house just before 9. I pointed. "She will be in that window." We waited. The street lights buzzed softly. The wind was cool. Then it was 9. "Look," I said. But the window was dark, no girl, no movement. "Are you okay, Alex?" Maya asked gently. "I swear, she is always there. Why didn't she come?" Maya touched my arm. "Maybe you need some rest." But I couldn't stop thinking about that face. The next day, I visited the town library. I wanted answers. I searched old newspapers and books about our streets and the house at the end. For hours, I found nothing. But then I saw a newspaper from 1998. It read, "Teen girl missing. Clara Evans, 16, disappeared from her home on Willow Street. Her family searched for weeks, but no sign of her was ever found. Some say she ran away. Others believe something darker happened. The house has been empty since." Clara? Was that the girl I saw? That night, I walked alone again. At exactly 9 o'clock, Clara appeared. But this time was different. She didn't just stare. She looked right into my eyes and slowly raised her hand to point at me. I stepped back. Suddenly, a light turned on inside the house. The house that had no electricity. I ran all the way home. The next morning, I went to Maya's house. Okay, she said, you really look scared now. I saw her again. She pointed at me, and there was light in the house. I think she is real, or her ghost is real. Maya frowned. Then we need to find out the truth. Let's go in. Inside the house? She nodded. Before 9 o'clock, we go early, just the two of us. I wasn't sure, but I agreed. That evening, we went to the house at 8 p.m. The wooden gate creaked as we pushed it open. Grass crunched under our feet. The front door wasn't locked. We stepped inside. The air was cold and dry. The house smelled like dust and old wood. The walls had cracks. The floor groaned. We used our phone lights and walked slowly up the stairs. Then we reached the second floor. The hallway was long and dark. We found the room with the window. And on the wall beside the bed, we saw an old photo. It was a black and white photo of a girl. Long hair, soft eyes. She was smiling. Her name was written under the photo. Clara Evans. She looks exactly like the girl you saw, Maya whispered. Suddenly, the window slammed shut behind us. We jumped. There was no wind, no sound, just silence. Then we saw something under the bed. It was a small notebook, old and dusty. We opened it. It was Clara's diary. We turned to the last page. The handwriting was shaky. No one hears me, not even Mom. I talk, but my voice is gone. I wave at people outside. No one sees me. I think I'm disappearing. Am I still alive? Or am I already a ghost? I felt cold. She is still here, I whispered, and she needs help. We looked at the time. 8:59 p.m. Maya and I stood in the center of the room. At 9 o'clock, the lights flickered. The mirror on the wall became foggy. And then we saw Clara. She stood behind us in the reflection. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came. Then, using her finger, she wrote on the mirror, "Find the key." She pointed to the closet. We opened the closet. On the floor was a small wooden box, locked. We searched everywhere, under furniture, behind the photo, even in the drawer. Finally, Maya found something behind a broken painting, a tiny silver key. We used it on the box. Inside, we found a letter and a golden locket. The letter was old, written in blue ink. If you are reading this, thank you. My name is Clara. I was scared. My family thought I ran away. But I didn't. I was here. I tried to scream, but no one could hear. I think I became a shadow. Please, give this letter and locket to my parents. Let them know I loved them. Maya was quiet. Her eyes were wet. We have to find her family, she said. The next day, we asked around town. An old neighbor told us that Clara's mother still lived nearby. We found her house, small, quiet, with flowers on the windowsill. Her name was Mrs. Evans. We explained everything. At first, she looked confused. Then we gave her the locket. She held it tightly. Then we showed her the letter. She read it slowly. Her hands shook. Tears fell from her eyes. This is her handwriting, she whispered. This is my daughter. That night, Mrs. Evans walked with us to the old house. She stood silently outside, looking up at the window. At exactly 9 p.m., the lights inside turned on, and Clara appeared. For the first time, she smiled. Mrs. Evans whispered, "I see you, my sweet girl." Clara looked peaceful, and then, slowly, her image faded. The window turned dark. No one has seen Clara since that night. The house is still empty, but now it feels different. Quiet, not scary. Clara's mother visits sometimes. She leaves flowers on the front step. As for me, I still walk past the house every evening. And I always remember the girl who waited by the window for someone to finally see her. Now she rests in peace.